If you've been watching the real estate market in Barrie and thinking, something feels kind of different this year, you're absolutely right. Because right now, it's not just a market driven by prices, it's government policy at the federal and provincial level that's quietly reshaping everything. And today, I'm going to break down exactly what that means for you as a buyer, a seller, or an investor here in Barrie. Hi, I'm Paul Partridge here with Rematch Crosstown and the Aranto Real Estate team. Before I continue, I invite you to hit the like and subscribe buttons in support of this channel. It'll keep you up to date with what's really happening here in the Barrie market. Let's start with the big one, interest rates and mortgage policy. Over the past couple of years, higher rates have been the biggest reason buyers have stepped back. Now, here's what's happening. The Bank of Canada has lowered rates, and they're expected to stay stable for the short term. But the fixed rates are still elevated because of long-term bond yields. So what does that mean in plain English? Buyers in Barrie are slowly coming back, but affordability is still remaining tight. So what we're seeing right now is more negotiating power for buyers, longer days on the market, and fewer bidding wars, especially some of the ones we've seen back in 21 and 22. This is a policy-driven shift, not just a market cycle. Now let's talk about federal government policies because these are huge. One of the biggest proposals right now is removing the GST on new homes under $1 million for first-time buyers. Well, that could save you up to $50,000 in savings for a first-time buyer. And now we see provinces like Manitoba proposing to remove the provincial sales tax as well. If Ontario follows suit, that could mean up to an additional $70,000 in savings for buyers. There's a push to increase housing supply, build more homes nationally, and make ownership more accessible. What does that mean for Barrie? Well, Barrie sits in that $600,000 to $900,000 price range. So the policy could directly increase demand here, especially for first-time buyers, GTA buyers moving north, and investors looking to invest in new builds. Now, here's the part most people don't realize. Government fees and taxes are a huge driver of home prices. In Ontario, it can be up to 30% of a new home price can come from those taxes and fees. Development charges alone exceed $100,000 right here in Barrie per unit. And over 60% of Ontarians say these costs are directly impacting affordability. So what does this mean for Barrie? Well, because it drives up the cost of building a new home, it means builders are slower to build. Supply is going to stay tight, and prices are not dropping as much as people would expect or need them to. So even in a slower market, prices are being held up by government-driven policy. Ontario is also pushing policies to increase housing supply, like investing in skilled trades, fast-tracking approvals, reducing the red tape for builders. But here's the reality. Construction is still slowly coming down because of those higher costs, labor shortages because builders stopped building and trades, well, they went elsewhere, and financial challenges. So even though governments want more housing, it's not happening fast enough. And in a place like Barrie, where demand is pretty strong, that's keeping housing out of reach for a lot of people. So let's bring this all together. Right now in Barrie, demand is recovering slowly. Supply is still tight, and we can see that for the long term. But policies are creating buyers' markets today. Here's the key takeaways. It's not a crashing market because supply is still low. This is a policy-controlled transition market that is being propped up by the governments. And that creates opportunities for buyers only 2 in 10 houses are selling every month. So you have leverage today that hasn't existed for years. I might even say decades. For sellers, pricing strategy and preparing your home properly matter more than they ever have. I just was involved in looking at a house that had multiple offers on it. It got 4 offers in 3 days after it listed because it was a beautifully presented home and it was priced to sell. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing here in Barrie this year, you need to understand how these policies are affecting your situation. Reach out to me anytime here at partridgeproperties.ca and I'll help you navigate this market. I look forward to seeing you next time.